What's up, guys? It's your favorite QB coach. Welcome down to another professional golf swing analysis. If you can't tell, my face is a little red right now. Got a little bit of golf yesterday. Got a little sunburn. Wore a visor. Still got, I don't know how it works. But anyways, welcome to another professional golf swing analysis. Let's go do this thing. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, we do everything in terms of golf instruction. So if you guys want to know about the golf swing, if you guys want to know about kind of just golf course vlogs, how to play the course, just getting anything about golf instruction, we're doing it here. So if you guys haven't already, hit that little red subscribe button. You guys are going to be notified every time we drop a video.
Alright guys, so we're keeping on the series leading up into our seminars in Japan. So if you guys don't know about our seminars currently, go ahead and click the link below. It's going to lead you to a Google document where you can go ahead and get a kind of a questionnaire to learn a little bit more about the seminar as well as sign up for it if you guys are interested. Now, I'll also leave either up here in the link in the description below as well. There's another video we did that detailed everything you need to know about the seminar in video format. So if you guys like a little bit more visual, you want to see me talk about it a little bit, go ahead and check that video below.
But anyways, today's video is going to be about Yui Kawamoto. She just won on the JLPGA recently. Very good player. Very interesting too as well because she's actually a player that is trying to work on the shallow golf swing, right? So she's actually trying to shallow out the golf club. So I think this will be a pretty interesting compare. We're going to compare her and my golf swing from the down line then the face-on view. We're going to talk about the specifics that we always like to talk about. Is she shallowing out the golf swing? Because again, the traditional golf instructors think that the Japanese can't shallow the golf swing. And then also from there, we're going to be talking about the elements that I don't like in her golf swing that I'd prefer her possibly do something different. So let's go hop into that. Alright guys, so you're probably pretty familiar with this first segment of the video. Do the Japanese shallow out the golf swing? Well, let's go disprove, or not disprove. We're proving our fact. We're disproving.
The traditional golf instructors out there, right? Let's go disprove it. So we're going to go Yui, we're going to go draw a yellow line for the hand tap, we're going to go draw a blue line for the club head. Let's see what she's doing, because remember, she's trying to actually shallow out the golf club.
So what can we see? Well, in transition, what do we see? We saw that golf club start going down and behind her, right? Isn't that shallowing of the golf club? The golf club or the golf head falling behind the hands in transition. Very interesting, right? So looks like to me, so far, Yui is shallowing out the golf club. Now, we're going to talk about her hand path that falls a little bit behind her as she does that. That's a little bit different type of form of shallowing than mine per se.
But it is shallowing out the golf club, right? Because shallowing in its definition is just the club head is falling behind the hands in transition. Doesn't really talk about hand path, right? Hand path can be working out towards the golf ball, it can be working down behind you. I've seen so many variations of it, there's really not that big a deal what you're really doing with your hands. It should be more so matching up with where you are at the top of your swing is more so the important part. But again, shallowing is just that club head falling behind the hands. And as we can see, Yui is very much doing that, right? So let's just finish up this little diagram that we're drawing real quick and we can go into comparing her against mine. Alright, so let's get the yellow circle right there, and then let's go.
If we kind of zoom in, let's just go focus in. First, let's just establish, right? So we can see the club head is falling behind and downwards. And then it kind of works back up, right? As she kind of ulnar deviates a little bit, right? Which is pretty common with a lot of professional golf swings that you see. And then she starts going back down towards the golf ball, right? So she's shallowing out the golf club. Club head is working down and behind the hands, then a little bit up, and then back out down towards the golf ball. Now, hand path is a little bit different than I would say mine per se, and a lot of the Americans, right? So when I see the Japanese shallow the golf club, this is typically how I see them shallow it. Not to say it's a bad thing, I'm just saying this is how they shallow it, and then we're going to see if we can link it into what they're doing with their lower body in transition, because I think the way that their lower body moves in transition is the reason for the hands to fall this way. But let's go check it out. So if we zoom in on our hand path, we can see that it initially starts working behind, right? So it goes behind her and down, and then it starts working out towards the golf ball as she starts to open up and rotate. That's pretty interesting, right? That's going to be a little bit different than mine. So let's go take a look real quick. So as we can see, Yui's club head is dropping behind her this way, right? Behind her and down. Now, if we look at my club head, it's dropping down, but more so out towards the golf ball. So it doesn't really go like this as early as Yui's does. And the main reason why is because my hand path didn't work down and behind. It actually worked a little bit more out. And I would say the main reason for that is because my body moves slightly different in that little transition, right? So my little squat move right here, right, is a little bit different than Yui's. I'm more abducting with that lead arm. And then Yui's more so kind of pulling the arm down as a little bit, even though she does have some lead arm abduction. So that's pretty interesting right there. Now, if we go take a look at the hand path again, we're going to see the main difference between our two. Mine's working out initially and then kind of down. Hers is working a little bit more behind and then out, right? So there's a little difference there, but again, she is shallowing out the golf club. So for this first little segment, always like we kind of prove, the Japanese golf professionals so far, everyone that I've seen has shallowed out the golf club. So keep that in mind when you guys are out there trying to practice. Shallowing out the golf club is, I think, a necessity. I almost think you could almost call it a law of good golf swings. All right, cool. Let's go hop into the next portion, which will be the face-on. So we're hopping over the face-on view now. I know we've watched enough Japanese to know exactly what they're going to do with the lower body. You guys probably know by now she's going to kick that trail knee in internal rotation too early. She's going to get the left side of the pelvis higher than the right pelvic tilt crack. She's going to be a little bit stuck with the elbow behind her body, and then she's going to get hand pap working out and have a little bit of a flip, right? So I know I've talked about that quite a bit in beating that home, so hopefully you guys are kind of getting that point. But let's go talk about let's use this segment to give you guys maybe a little kind of look into what we would be doing at the seminar with you guys if you came to work on the lower body, right? So in the seminar we're going to have in Nara at Greenwich Golf Club, we're going to be talking about left pelvic tilts, right pelvic tilts. We're going to be talking about anterior pelvic tilt, posterior. We're going to be talking about a lot with the lower body as well, not only just the shallowing motion, but also kind of talking about the body. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about that, again, go ahead and check out that Google links. But let's go give you guys a little bit of we'll give you a little secret that you're going to find at the seminar, right? But you're probably not going to hear me ever talk about this again on YouTube. So you guys better feel lucky, right? Lucky enough to where you guys should come to the seminar. Anyways, so let's go talk about what's a great drill for a player like this, right? So when I get players who push a lot linear, it's incredibly tough for them to get rid of that trail knee kicking into internal rotation too much, right? So what's the easiest drill I've done with players like this? Well, the first drill that I like to do with them to get that trail knee from not kicking in so much is I call it the basket drill. So what you can do is you can put a basket on the ground, you can put another basket right here, and then put it on the inside of your knee, right? Give yourself about this much space, right? Because you want to be able to kick in a little bit. Don't give yourself like this much space because then obviously it doesn't work, right? And then don't get it so close to where you can't kick it in at all because you do want to kick that knee into internal rotation, right? So let's go take a look at her knee, right? So we're going to draw a mock drill right here. So I would put a basket here and I'd probably move it a little bit more in here. I'd probably put a basket here and another basket here, right? To where she has some space. And then what I would get her to do is I would get her doing some like lead arm parallel swings. And then I wanted her to come down. See how she would destroy those baskets right there? She would kick them over. We would do a lot of lead arm parallel swings. So where she stops her backswing right about here and then comes down without breaking those baskets, right? So at first she's going to be hanging back on trail side and she's going to be hitting a lot of chunky shots, right? Now, why is she going to be hitting those chunky shots? Well, the main reason why is because she's used to kicking that knee in and then dropping back this way, right? Now, if I take away her knee being able to kick in, now she's going to be a little bit more back centered in terms of pressure. She's not going to be so much far forward that early in the golf swing. Now, if she adds this on, her low point's going to be way behind it, so she's going to be chunking and chunking and chunking it, right? And that's typically the time in the lesson where the student looks over at me and is like, "Are you fucking idiot? Like, what are you teaching me, bro?" You know what I mean? So what do we have to do instead, right? Well, once we get her knee from stopping to kicking in, what I typically like to do visually is I like to draw these arrows, right? So I would be like, okay, Yui, so first off, we're not kicking that trail knee into internal rotation too early anymore. That's a great job. I'm glad that you actually got done with that or got rid of that. Now, here's the issue we're still having. Your pelvis line is a little bit more level, which is good, but what we're still doing is we're adding on a lot of this little bend, right? We're getting our shoulders really, really high up, or left shoulder, and I think that that's going to cause you maybe to hit behind the ball. So then what we would be doing is we'd be doing a lot of swings where we keep with the same drill, but I would be getting a lot of presetter feels where she's getting that left shoulder lower for longer, right? So how could you do this without really kind of just visually talking to her about it? Well, you could set up another kind of little basket drill behind, right? And let's kind of show you this. This is going to be hard to draw in a 2D world, but let's just pretend let's just pretend, right? So this would be a basket here, correct? And then we would have another like alignment stick to where she couldn't swing underneath that plane, right? So what it forced her to do is if I'm right here and I'm swinging down, the alignment stick would be here. So if I swung too far underneath the plane, I would knock this alignment stick out of the basket, right? So what it would do, it would consciously or subconsciously force her to get this sternum a little bit more on top of the ball as opposed to behind the ball, right? And once she starts doing that, she's going to start covering the golf ball a lot better. So she's going to start hitting half swings to where she learns how to get the sternum more on top of the ball and then not get that trail knee to kick into internal rotation, right? But yeah, that's how I would go about initially starting to get rid of that trail knee from kicking in. Then once we kind of got that motion out of her golf swing, then we're going to have to start talking a little bit about wrist angles as well. But that's probably how I target her golf swing first. The first thing with these Japanese is you got to get them rid of this move right here. We got to get rid of that trail knee kicking in and destroying those baskets, right? And that's like the easiest drill to do. If you put something in your way and tell your body not to hit that thing, it's the easiest way for you guys to see changes, right? And that's why I think that little double basket drill where you put it just inside the knee line is such a good drill for you guys, because you want to make sure in transition So anyways, guys, hopefully that was a little bit different insight than what I normally talk about. I think you guys are getting a pretty good understanding of what is going wrong, and we're going to start kind of getting a little bit into kind of how to fix it. Now, again, if you guys want to see those drills that I just talked about or really get one-on-one time with me at the seminar, go to the seminar, right? Because we're going to not only have a talking portion, but we're also going to have a 3-hour range portion, right? So we're hoping to get roughly... We're having 6 days of this thing, right? For the talking portion, we're only having about 4 of those days, talking/driving range. So we're hoping to get about 20 to 30 people per a talking portion/driving range portion day, right? So if we can get you guys out there, I'll have plenty of time to walk around personally, as well as all the instructors at Greenwich Golf Club, which I'll be training personally myself. We'll be able to help you out with all of this stuff, and you guys are going to get one-on-one help and really, I think, expedite the way that you guys can work on the shallow swing and get you guys better. So definitely go check out the Google links below. We would appreciate seeing you guys out there. As always, hit that like button, leave a comment, share this to your friends, guys. We're trying to get more and more people learning about this stuff. And as always, subscribe. All right, guys, best of luck and play some golf out there.